Hey friends, Roger here, and welcome to Lightroom Thursday, where I offer a tip or technique on using Lightroom every Thursday. And for this week's Lightroom Thursday, I'm going to talk about the recent new features that were added to Lightroom, which is now version 9.3. So if you're a Creative Cloud subscriber, you'll be able to update automatically from the Adobe Update app here. And of course, I no longer have that listed because I've already updated. So a lot of cosmetic changes in this version of the application. To start out with is we have new icons, and we can see the Lightroom Classic icon is now a rounded icon, and it has LRC. Same for the Photoshop as well. Photoshop was also recently updated. We also have a new cloud icon on the right side, which lets us know our syncing process. So here you can see what is syncing, how many photos are syncing to Adobe Cloud. You can see that I'm in the process of syncing right now. And the sync option used to be over here in the left side of your screen, the upper left side of your screen, but now it's over here. So let's go to the Develop module here. And under Tone Curve, we see some cosmetic changes. It's a lot easier to switch between the RGB channels here. And we can see the different channels are designated by colored dots. The leftmost icon here is the parametric curve, and the next icon is the point curve. And the same thing for the HSL and color. On the color tab here, we have the colored dots. And there's a new color picker on top here. And we no longer have the targeted adjustment tool because now you just select the color and then modify the hue, saturation, or luminance of that color. But we do still have it for the HSL panel. Speaking of targeted adjustment, a wonderful new feature is the Hue Adjustment feature. So when you're in the Develop module and you go to the graduated filter, radial filter, or the brush tool, you can now selectively adjust hue. And this is a biggie. So this image here that I have on my screen, I'm going to activate the graduated filter tool. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to move the temp slider to the blue area. And now I'm going to click and drag down. So this new area right here, hue, you can drag the slider to fine tune the hue adjustment. Notice that as I drag, it's only affecting those colors that I selected. And if you were using the targeted adjustment brush, it would only affect the areas that you painted. So notice as I drag to the right, the color brightens, we get some magentas, pinks. And if I drag to the left, you get more cyans and greens. Now notice that the colors change very quickly as I drag, but you can fine-tune the adjustments by clicking the Use Fine Adjustment checkbox and then dragging. And notice that the colors change a lot slower as I drag. So this allows for a much more granular control over the hue of the targeted area. Let me click this image here. I'll drag the temp slider to the left and then add a graduated filter to the image. And I'm going to uncheck the Use Fine Adjustment checkbox. And notice as I drag, the hues of the orange color are changing. Whereas in the last image, it was just the hues of the blues. So this is a feature for which people have been asking for a long time. So a very welcome feature to Lightroom. Another new feature is the adaptive ISO presets. That is to say, a preset that will adapt to whatever ISO your camera was at when you took the image. So for instance, I might want to apply a different level of sharpening if I took an image at ISO 100 compared to an image at ISO 1200. So how this works is you select the images, and the images need to be at different ISOs. And then move your mouse cursor over the word presets, and again, we're in the Develop module. And when you see the plus symbol, click plus, create preset. And then the new feature is down here below under the ISO settings area. And then we click the Create ISO Adaptive Preset, and then we click Create. So I could just call this ISO preset here. So if you want to delve deeper into the ISO settings preset, click the Learn More link, and it'll take you to a web page where you can delve in a lot deeper. So I'm just going to cancel it here for the time being. Another new feature is when you're in crop mode, many of you know that you can tap the O key on your keyboard to browse through the various overlays. Well, Adobe has added a new overlay called the 2x2 Grid Crop Overlay, and that's this one right here. So this is helpful for pointing out the exact center of your image. So many people may find this quite handy. And the last feature I want to talk about is the export feature. So let's go to the library module here. Now when you choose File Export, we can now batch export to multiple file types and to multiple locations. So I have a couple of presets here, Facebook preset and Instagram preset. So once I click the little checkbox, we see the button in the lower right corner of the window changes to batch export. So when I click it, the batch export dialog displays. And notice here I have my Facebook preset and Instagram preset, and I can choose a different folder for each of these presets. So for my Facebook preset, I'll choose my desktop folder. And for the Instagram preset, I will choose my documents folder. Once I've set the location for my exports, then the export button becomes activated, and then we can carry out the export. So this can be especially handy if part of your workflow involves exporting images to a variety of different formats. So again, the batch export feature. So did you like this video? If so, please click the like button below, as that really helps my channel out. And as always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Roger and out.